Potentially live. It looks like we might be. Looks like we might be on. So we got a very special guest in the building today. It's a little different than what we normally do live streams. Or I didn't set a full agenda or anything. I was just like, you know what? Let's just kind of riff. Let's kind of figure out. I know that you have your podcast, which I had a lot of fun on your podcast, man. That was honestly one of the best podcasts that I've been on, for sure, like hands down. So the Front Page Podcast.
Front Page Podcast.
We're gonna link it. We have the video collaboration on my channel too, so I encourage you guys to check it out because you guys had a really good flow, man. I really love the flow you guys had. It was you guys got good chemistry.
Yeah, I mean I've known it since I was 15.
Okay. And it comes through like the chemistry is really felt. So on this live stream, I kind of want to have a little mix of obviously like the brand that you're trying to build or the brand that you're relaunching, like just help and assist in whatever way we can with that, and then just kind of workshop, ask questions, and develop it in real time. And then questions from the chat, people that are watching us live, as they come in, just any questions that come up, we'll be answering. And then we also have a brand owner that's coming in on there. She's joining us via Zoom in about like 30 minutes or so. I told her around 5:30ish.
Okay.
But that way we just kind of keep it interactive. So we got the man Preston behind the camera, doing all the switching and all of that good stuff. So I think she'll probably join us around 5:30ish. You can just kind of like cue her up, just let her know like once we're good to transition to that. Cool. So let's begin, man. Let's begin.
Right.
So when obviously you guys have your podcast, right? The Front Page Podcast. How long have you guys been podcasting now?
I want to say like 5 months, I believe.
Okay.
Since like July.
Since July.
I think that was the first time we posted something was July.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, July. Just from July till now, like it honestly felt like it was. Like you guys have been doing it for years.
Yeah. And it's
Interesting.
crazy because we monetized it within that time too.
Mm-hmm. Within 5 months. Yeah. That's incredible. That's not a small feat. If you've been doing YouTube, it's a lot of work. Yeah, it's a lot of work. So you guys are definitely on the right track there. Like audience wise, I've been watching some of your new interviews. Like sick, man. It's sick.
Right on, John.
I've been doing my research, man. I'm like these guys are out here. What background did you guys have before doing the podcast though?
So, I'll speak. So me and we met 15. We used to have a group. We used to rap. Got older, life happened. He went on to own a barbershop. He continued to rap. Like I said, I kids and family and life. And so entrepreneurship, he obviously he's an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. We're both creative. And so I was kind of out of this whole creative scene for a minute besides the shirts and stuff. He hit me one day and was like, I got to get you off the couch, man. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, we got to do a podcast. I'm like, nah. Like, I didn't want to be in the forefront, I wanted to be in the back, doing all this stuff. But he's like, no, he kind of broke down the whole vision he had and how he wanted to attack it. And I was like, yeah, I'll rock with you, man. So let's do it. And so July, we filmed our first one. And
that's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's kind of how the best ideas come together, right? Like you guys had certain vision for it, like kind of what you want to do. He's got an idea for where it wants to go, and you guys come together and collaborate on it. Kristen, can we actually turn on the recording for all the cameras for like the recording on the road? Yep, and then we'll do recording on those two because I want to cut up for a video too later on. We can do like shorts and stuff. Yeah, it'd be cool. And then I'll just clap in real quick so it syncs up all audio. All right, so it should be good there. Awesome, man. So you guys obviously came together July, but even before that, you had a brand, right? So like you launched a brand when your girls were younger. You were telling me the other day.
Yeah, so it was called Yayani A&G.
Okay.
Yayani is a combination of their names. A&G is apparel and gifts.
Okay.
And so I didn't really know. Like I've always been into fashion. Was making shirts at home with spray paint. My own stencils, to screen print. Just always kind of. And so twins were born. I'm like, I love making shirts. I hadn't really tried to create a brand, and so we took this opportunity to delve into a niche. Mm-hmm. So the twins, they're twins, so they're multiples. that's a niche that nobody really talks about. You can't find cards when you go; it's all for singletons.
Right.
So as a twin parent, it was kind of hard just finding shirts and things that reflected
Imagine,
that.
right.
And so I came up with a couple of slogans. Um, we built the website. This was back. They were born 2011, so this was back.
Wow, 2011. Wow, this is like you guys were on WooCommerce, maybe WordPress website.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah,
Yep.
I think Wix had
Wix.
just kind of launched. You
Mhm.
know, GoDaddy. You know
Right,
that
yeah.
kind of stuff, just the basic stuff. And so yeah, we started. I started selling on Etsy, and yeah, we did pretty good. It just some things took a turn. My connections kind of, and I didn't really know how to pivot. And then again, like the girls are getting older,
Hmm.
so I just kind of focus on other things. But
Yeah.
I'm in the process of thinking about relaunching it because it's still a big niche.
Yeah. Definitely is for twins, right?
Twins,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's actually
Multiples, sextuplets, whatever.
right. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to like obviously relaunching something like that, you're looking at the problem that you're experiencing directly, right? So like you realize like when you're going to go out gift shopping, like do you buy them the same exact T-shirt? Does it vary with the same style, right? Is that kind of the problem solution you're looking at? Like,
well, the direction we came at it was more of just being a parent and as infants having fun things to put them in, because it's fun being a twin parent. Everybody thinks it's so great, it's so amazing, and it is.
Mhm.
But there's nothing, you may get a shirt or two that says double dribble, and so it just was something that only twin parents can relate to. So that's what I did. I took little slogans, little things. We had greeting cards because unfortunately, twins are high risk.
Right.
And so they don't always make it.
Right.
Or both sometimes don't always make it. And that's the true fact about it. But there's nothing in the stories that reflected a condolence card for twins or somebody who loses and so we created that. And, so just trying to. I don't know if I answered the question.
Mm-hmm. No. It definitely gave me insight of like how you were attacking the market. So like,
and I'll give you an example. So I my big seller was Dose Babies, right?
Those babies.
So it said I don't always make babies, but when I do, I make those babies. And it was just a regular shirt. I brought some old ones because I still.
Yeah. I want to see them. Do you got one? I'd love to see them. I would love to see one of the samples.
Yeah, if you look in that bag,
in
the back.
And for those of you guys watching live, make sure you just drop in your questions as we're riffing here. Anything that's currently holding you back or a poll. We're going to drop a poll right now too. Let us know if you already started marketing or if it's something that a marketing question. So have you started marketing and have you had success with it? Have you found your format and flow? Yes, no. Let us know.
And so one of the issues now is like I have a lot of inventory. So this is one I opened. This is one that
And this is how it was packaged.
This is actually nice. And it came in a box. I had a box that I folded all the boxes, put a stamp on it, put all the little, cut up the confetti, put the confetti in there.
So it's like a real gift.
Like a real gift.
That's cool.
Yeah, same thing.
Those are the personal touches that go a long way too.
These are some of the cards that we.
Oh wow, this is sick, man! Wow, this is definitely. I see this being in like an Etsy product. It was big on Etsy for
a couple of years. Yeah. The cards were hard because it's niche.
Right.
That was something that you would have to probably see in like a gift shop at a hospital.
Yeah.
A Walgreens.
Twice as nice. Twins, twice as nice. Yeah. It's definitely better me than you. I totally understand. My kids are a year apart. I wish I had twins. That's cool. Let's look at some of these up close. This is nice, man. This is actually really really personal. Like it definitely gives a good vibe. And I'm just realizing, man, I should come in over here. It's a better spot. Let's go.
So and that's what I wanted. Like I'm big on experience, right? So when you got the package, it felt somewhat high end, but still kind of handmade,
Yeah.
Let me show you the shirt, man. A minute. But yeah, that's the shirt.
I don't always make babies, but when I do, I make dose babies. I like it. I
try to do my little branding in the back. This was, like I said, I was green. I'm just really self-taught. I had no mentor.
Check that out, guys.
This is one of my favorites. This one, it took me a long time to create this design.
Yayani.com. I love the name too. The name's good, man. The name's powerful.
Thank you. Tell me what you.
Okay, twins. Twin Zane in the membrane.
Now, for those who know, that's Cypress Hill.
Cypress Hill.
Almost like their album cover, kind of.
Yanni A and G, twin
Because if you
girl.
know, you know. If you got
Yeah,
twins or somebody with twins, you know. Twins are
twin Zane in the membrane.
it's a
Yeah, so my
challenge. Yeah.
my niece and nephew are twins. So like they're not identical, but they're one's a boy and a girl, and they're teenagers now. So they're turning teenagers in like a month. So like they're about your age is 13, right? They're
Yeah,
turning 14.
they're turning 14.
Yeah. So, I mean, just seeing the way that the mom and like how they had to. I mean, when I had my first kid, I was like, wow, this is a lot of work. I can only imagine what it's like to have twins.
Right. It's
You go
crazy.
0 to 2,000.
Exactly. For real. It's a trip.
But this was your way to like bring out your passion, make some money with it, build up a like something you could potentially pass on to them.
To the girls, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And I just try to do things that are personal, that they could. This one actually got me in trouble.
Oh, did it?
DTA, yeah.
DTA.
They look like NBA.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
they sent me a
Really?
They sent me a cease and desist.
Ah,
That was one of my favorite ones.
man, that's a stretch for them to do that, though.
That's what I said. But they did. I got a letter.
Look at
They're
that.
like, hey, we can't. They wouldn't display it. You couldn't. I
Right.
could see it on my end.
Right.
But if you were a shopper, you could
Shadow ban, like
Yep.
yeah. Wow.
Yep.
And I guess like the NBA, Disney, a lot of that stuff, a lot of times is very like Etsy can be in trouble for it if they don't protect it. This is awesome, man. I love how you, and I think a lot of times it really does begin with understanding a niche, but then obviously like as you're here now, like you started it when they're like, how old were they when you came up with this?
Probably like what, a year or two.
A year or 2 years old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did you think of it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
It came from, like you said, just that not finding what you need out there. And I think initially it was the cards. The t-shirts were much more fun, but the cards were like, when these things happen, there's no way for you to comfort someone, to give them a nice card to offer your condolences or even just to offer your congratulations in
Right.
a really specific way that you could find for other things.
Yeah.
You couldn't find it for parents and multiple. So I thought it was awesome. There's a lot of late nights when you have young twins.
A lot. I only imagine, man. Late nights with the twins and working on a t-shirt brand. Wow, that's incredible, man. Well, congrats. And I can see how like a lot of your ideas really came to fruition and how you could find a market through that. I want to say that like the benefit of Etsy is obviously being able to find your niche, like, or your niche finding you, right? And like I'm sure like you did a lot of SEO type things, and like that's what brought a lot of traffic to it. So that's the benefit of Etsy, is that it is gifting. So it is a direct tie to this, like to this style. But as you develop a brand, it has to be more than just an SEO based search, and it has to be more of something that can get in front of other people, right? And it's got to catch attention too. And a lot of the things like that I can kind of see within this is me just riffing, is obviously the twins, the Yayani.com is like, it has that like twinning vibe, right? So like you guys started it with the idea of it being for parents of twins, which is a great niche, right? And but it's going to limit you in terms of your potential growth, because you have a niche in twins, but then every family is different in design and how you can market to them, right? So a certain direction that you may give for your market may not resonate for everybody else in that market, right? But what I do see from this is, like a lot of people call themselves twins, like, yo, what up, twin, right? So it becomes something that it still has a base within the twin market. Like, hey, this was founded by parents of twins. Like, we understand, we've seen our girls grow up. And as these friendships evolve, we realize they got a lot of twins. So it becomes something that it could be like a his and her, like a friendship relationship. It could expand a little bit more, and you could start to design for that market that's going to wear those products. So you still have the core of the twins that are your daughters and like the parents, and you have those collections like for the true twins, right? Then it's got the collection that's just for everybody else that would buy it for like a cruise or like, but it's a certain design style that you got to come up with that resonates to the market at large. That kind of makes sense. Does that?
No, that makes sense. So, because one of the things we wanted to do, it was broad. Like it started out with greeting cards, kind of morphed into t-shirts, because that's just what was opportunity to sell t-shirts. We wanted to venture off into like onesies and like car seats and different. So, and I think now the time, since drop shipping is so big,
Mm-hmm.
to really make it a gift, an apparel and gift shop where you can get a shirt, you can get gifts,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
baby shower, you can go to Yayani
Mm-hmm.
and buy something. So how would you, I mean, beyond, you would have to go, I would have to go beyond Etsy. So how do I
Yep.
scale?
Exactly.
How do I get there? You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, yeah. Most definitely. And I think that's going to be that's really going to be in like how you said the positioning for gifts, right? And everybody's got somewhat of a gift shop, right? Where everybody can launch, hey, this is a gift shop for expectant mothers, right? And like such a big market on its own. But if you carve out a niche where it's like, hey, we started it for twins, but we realized that it's like your design style, your direction, your humor, the way like everything I see here is very unique, right? And it's for a certain demographic. And as long as you kind of stay true to that thread, then you could launch other products and it could all look as part of the brand, right? So like for instance, if you're going to launch a car seat brand, right, or like a car seat on this, for like new kids, you would launch it as like, hey, we got the onesies, we got the car seats, we got the bottles, and like maybe it's a certain color palette that each of them are carrying. So now everything looks exactly. You don't want to just start drop shipping a bunch of random stuff because then it just looks like, oh, what is this, right? But if you start to make it at least like, hey, I'll choose the green bottle, I'll choose the one with the red accent or whatever it is, like it starts to look like it's one brand. You don't have to label it all with your own brand because it's going to be hard to do like a private label car seat, but bottles you might be able to do some private label with drop ship, right? There might be some suppliers that will just tag something onto it or a box, custom box and packaging. That's always an option. But just choosing like those color palettes that would look like for that collection. That would be the way that you could expand. Like you could drop a collection of products like t-shirts and hats or things that you control, and then you add the accessories that kind of match that or vibe with it.
And so that's a finding that manufacturer like.
Yeah. So where do you find them? That's a good. There's a lot of them. So I would say the better one that you could look at. There's a platform called Axio, ACCIO, ACCIO. They actually have. Honestly, they're by far one of the best when it comes to like searching for new product categories. And a lot of times that one is for more of the wholesale, like maybe buying 10, 15 units at a time. If you're like, hey, I want to actually stock some and maybe I want to do my own color palettes to them, like they'll actually allow you to customize stuff. If it's like, hey, I want to find things that are just ready to ship, maybe I could plug it into my Shopify store and it'll drop ship directly to the customer. Then Team Drop is one of those. It's a TEEM. Yep, TEM and Drop, DROP. And Team Drop allows you to search for almost any product that you could think of, whether it's like glasses. Hey, we bought some glasses, we bought some accessory pieces, and they literally allow you to customize your packaging, but it drop ships. Pretty much just packaging is the only thing that you can customize. And that you can start with 1 unit, you can start with like no unit, so it's a very low inventory risk. But Axio is more for like, hey, I want to place a bulk order, maybe a sample order of stuff, and I want to sell this new product that I don't know how it's going to do. Axio can help you there.
So Axio is bulk, and Team Drop
is drop ship. Yep. And what's cool about Team Drop is that it connects directly to Shopify. So you don't have to like try to find like a workaround with Excel sheet or anything. It's literally just an app connection. And then on Team Drop Send, can you pull up Team Drop as a website? On Team Drop Send, so like I'll show you right here. Let's see. Maybe it'll come up real quick. So I'll watch it there. It has like a little lag, but TEEMDROP Team Drop. And the way that it works is essentially you are, it's like a big catalog, and you could filter ideas. So are you able to look for products there? Or I don't think I'm logged in, but let's look at, let's see if there's is there anything to click on for products, like product library on that homepage? Yeah, is there anything there? I might have to be logged in, yeah. But once you're logged in, it's actually a pretty, so like, we'll link a video. There's a video in there that we'll link. But essentially what it is once you log in, it looks like a Shopify kind of panel. And then you could start searching for categories like, hey, I want glasses, or I want this or that.
So for drop shipping, would you suggest Shopify over TeePublic or Teesprings and stuff like that?
So Shopify would be the platform where you host your website and hold your inventory.
Okay.
And then that has apps that can connect to it.
So right, that's just the hub, and
That's
then you
the
have
hub
other manufacturers that
can
connect
plug to.
Shopify.
Exactly.
All right.
So when you're using like Teespring and TeePublic and all those, they're pretty much just printing your stuff and shipping it. But like if you want to start building and controlling your customer list, like your email opt-ins and like actually having relationships with your customers, a Shopify store with app plugins for your manufacturers.
Okay.
Because now anytime somebody buys something, it's essentially going through your store.
Okay.
And then you can actually build that relationship, follow up. So like if you know that, hey, this person bought, this newborn tea, like every 6 months or at the yearly basis, you can send personalized letters like, hey, happy birthday, to your expectant one, 10% off type stuff. Yeah. Personalize the experience. Yeah. That's insane, man. Just the market that you're in is very, like, it's really cool to actually find somebody that knows what lane they're in. Because a lot of times people are just like, I have this idea, but I don't really know where it's going or like how I should market it. I'm like, who are you selling to? They're like, I'm not sure yet. But that's the reality. Most of us run into that.
That's true. And I was going to ask you that, like, how do you go, how would one go about finding a market? You have this thing. So you have this idea, this design. How do you find the market to
go after it and wants that? That's a really good point. And I think a lot of it really begins with like, okay, where did the idea come from? All right. So like you have this idea for a design. Where did that come from? Was it something that inspired you with historically something you ran into, a place you visited? Like, how did that idea come to be? Because then when you realize where that idea came from, you start to like depict the different potential audience of that, right? So let's say you come up with a concept that's like, yo, I want like, let me see, I just visited which country? Like, let's say I'm coming up with like a medieval brand that's like for like people that are working out, right? And it's like medieval, you're thinking European, right? Like, so now you're kind of like influenced by those, like that architecture, right? And then the audience for that will be other people that are also resonating with that concept. Yeah, that architecture, that concept. How you market it is going to be based around like showing certain landscapes, depicting certain things within those regions. You're subliminally now marketing to that audience, and you're coming up with ideas that you can use to like actually promote your brand. Versus like, I got this design, how do I market it? It's like, where did the idea come from? And then how can you infuse that concept into your marketing? Because a lot of times people will create a design and then they want to go and market it, but there's no substance to it. So they're just making an ad. Yeah, they're making an ad and they're promoting it. And it's like, why isn't it selling? It's like, well, because it doesn't really depict to the person why they should buy it.
They don't have anything to connect to.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. That makes sense. So
that's why when you said like, it's funny. Yeah. When you said like, yo, this looks like G Unit. I'm like, that's what it was. Like, we're connecting people to something that was like, hey,
that's
this looks
familiar. Yeah,
familiar.
And I know that's definitely a big thing in marketing or even in design. You want to keep us familiar.
What's familiar?
It depends on what you're selling. Right?
Exactly.
So that and that stood out because I was if you know, you know.
Exactly.
You know. And so I had another question because we had the podcast, we have the podcast, and we have merch. But that's where I think I'm coming into a wall is trying to find because the niche or the demographic for podcasts. That doesn't mean they're going to buy merch or t-shirts. So how do you utilize the platform of a podcast and sell merch? Like, it's just a hard thing for me to try to merge together.
It is. And what's really interesting is that like some of the bigger podcasts today, that they're not necessarily selling merch, but they're selling like specific products, right? Like, I forgot who's doing one of them. I read a case study on recently. I think it was he has like a microphone setup where it's like, yo, you could buy this little microphone attachment. It's $50. So if you're watching the podcast and learning about these creator economy, like, oh, I might want to do my own podcast. Let me buy that, right? So a lot of it will even begin with like understanding who's watching your podcast, right? So like who are the people that are actually watching it? And then really diving into exactly who they are. So let's say they are, I don't know, what do you kind of know your analytics in terms of age ranges?
I think it's like 45 to 60, maybe. I could look it up.
45, 60. And then I know you could also see like from like what's like the cool part about making content and building an audience is that every platform gives you your analytics. So like you'll know, at least YouTube even used to give you the race that you used to watch. It used to say Hispanic, Latino, Black, Italian, and like it was a big list of ranges. And what was really cool about that back then is that you could actually you can actually kind of start to visualize who it is. Right now, it just gives you age ranges and cities, but you have to kind of make that depiction from it. So a lot of the stuff you got is 35 to 44, which is a really good, yeah, it's a really good age range. You're what, 40 or
45.
45? Yeah, yeah. So then you're actually capturing a pretty good audience base there. So between 35 to 54 is your core audience, 70% of them. And then from this, popular with new viewers and popular with casual viewers. So your casual viewers are going to be the people that are kind of watching you more. So within YouTube, these are the people that are actually like watching your content like as it pops up, and you can start to depict what they actually like. So in this example, you got they're watching Cash Money, Birdman, Juvenile, Lil Wayne, right? So all the class, like all the hip hop stuff that we grew up on. Yeah. So like they're watching these, and then you can kind of look. This is your content, right? So this is all your stuff that they're watching. So a lot of your content is resonating with the casual viewers when it comes to hip hop, right? Your new viewers are going to be people that are, yeah. I mean, the majority of all your content views are going to be like hip hop based conversations, right? I don't see anything else that's there
right now, because that's what we did initially. It was for a minute. It was the boxing. We did an interview with Sean Porter and Al Bernstein, and that was really because it was fight. The fight was big, not football, and then that was versus. So yeah, I mean.
So here, what's cool is that you can also see. So like even within 90 days, which is not telling us exactly there. Usually it'll give you a percentage of how many people are coming in. It's not giving us it there yet, but so the reason this is important to kind of see is like you obviously want to know like, okay, well, this is why are these resonating the most, right? And then based on that, you can go to the engagement, which is comments. Where's the comments? Stay to watch, 78% stay to watch that. Let's see. Where are the comments at? New viewers, casual viewers. Your majority of your audience on those videos are 35 to 54. Yeah, so that's male to female, obviously 90 to 10. Yeah. United States, good channel. Yeah. So a lot of that, when you go to community and you go to the comments, there's conversations that they're having, right? So these conversations, like it's like if you know there's a certain type of content that's growing, then you should start looking at like, is that the direction we want the channel to grow into? So when I first saw your channel, and then he was telling me, hey, I had Sean Porter on there. Then I saw that you guys had the rap and all the conversations. I was like, this is giving me like a Breakfast Club style vibe, right? Like, but maybe in a Vegas city. So like, and it's coming more with like the ground level news versus like, Breakfast Club just has a lot of personalities, and it's like politics is more top level. So finding your niche within the content first is going, and doubling down on that style of content is going to help you build out an audience. And then reading those comments, reading every comment and understanding, like looking at it from the lens of, okay, I serve 35 to 50-year-olds. And the top piece of content that they're resonating with me is when we talk about rap battles. Like, why is that, right? Why is that? Let me look at some comments, right? And it's like everybody's got an opinion about, maybe in those rap battles, you have an opinion about a certain artist, right? And what was it about that artist that they have the most opinion about? So it's about like really looking at all the little details, right? Because ultimately what you're trying to do is you're trying to paint the picture of your audience. So you need to have like an avatar. who is that guy? Who is the 35-year-old and who is the 50-year-old, right? They're two different guys, but they're, what I always find about audiences is that they're the same person at different stages in life, right? So like a 35-year-old you that you run into, that you connect with, like you'll always find people that resonate with you.
Right.
And they resonate with you because they're like, he reminds me of myself when I was younger, right?
Right.
And like you didn't have the exact same upbringing as him, but similar upbringing, right? Like you grew up maybe in the same neighborhoods, or like you grew, maybe went to the same schools, and like, oh, I like this guy. Like he reminds me a lot of me. Like, and then you're talking to them at different levels, right? So you talk differently to the guy that's 35 than you would to the guy that's 50.
Right.
And you would present a different product at 35 than you would at 50.
Right.
All right. So the more you understand who your key audience is, the more you can start to kind of come up with a product that he'd actually want to buy. He might not want to buy the T-shirt if he's 45, right? But he might be down to buy some skincare, some barber, some accessory piece, a cologne, a piece of jewelry, like something that enhances who he is, right? So you got to start like really finding in like, okay, who is my key audience and what would he actually buy? Because a lot of times we launch something and like buy it, and your core supporters are going to buy it. So like if you create a good merch line and it has maybe some references to the podcast and it's got like some quotes, or maybe you do like, you know, Lil Wayne verses, or like you start to kind of go into the versus side, you will get some sales.
Yeah, and because right now I just, you know, it's like, what do you do for a podcast? So I just kind of threw some things together. I'll show you some.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm a T-Public, which I need to switch.
Yo, we got so thank you guys for coming through. We got LTD VHF. Put your real name, I'd shout you out. And we got Mr. Frigglesworth. I created my LLC. However, that would be what would be the best system to buy for print one and for embroidery clothes? What would be the best system to buy for print and for embroidery clothes? I'm assuming they're talking about equipment. So what would be the best system to buy for printing and for embroidery clothing? Okay, so when it comes to buying equipment, if you're just starting, I wouldn't recommend, this is something I wouldn't recommend to anybody. And you kind of ran into it, but you were working with somebody that was printing your clothes, and they actually had a DTG printer that was like printing your clothes on demand, right? So you get some orders, you put it to him, he'd make it, you'd ship it, right? And that's honestly the best way to start, because you don't have to invest $10,000 or even $5,000 into a piece of equipment. Because when you're just getting started, we were just having this conversation offline, like you're either going to be marketing or you're going to be operating. And if you're operating and trying to market, it's a hard lane to get out of, especially when the equipment breaks or some shit doesn't happen.
And you know, it's funny because I'm kind of in that situation now, because I don't have a print. I'm not actively, you know, printer broke. I was printing some shirts for the Front Page podcast. We had a event to go to. I wasn't watching the printer and it got all jammed. And it's like, now I'm like, I can't print any shirts now.
Yeah,
you know, it's so yeah. You definitely want to try to get somebody to.
Yeah, somebody to help you with it. But then, like, what's cool now is that there's DTF, right? So a lot of the films,
Yeah, you can
and
just,
like,
yeah,
you literally just grab it, heat press.
Yeah.
So that is the best way to start if you're getting started and proving it out, because a lot of these designs could have been DTF prints. Like you could have tested it, just printed it from home, shipped it. Yeah, so it's easier than ever now to start, but don't invest into actual equipment until you get sales and you realize, hey, if I buy this, I actually enjoy making it. So maybe I should invest into equipment. But if you don't enjoy fixing shit, don't invest into it. Because every machine is going to break, man.
Absolutely. Anything with moving parts.
Everything with moving parts. Now, I would say that the embroidery machines, like with Melco has some good embroidery machines. I haven't had an issue with it. It's a long learning curve. Preston will attest to that. We spent a couple hours doing one design when we first got started, but it's good quality. But yeah, you got to learn it, and it's a learning game for sure. Cool. So then you have some designs coming in. So appreciate you guys for dropping those. If you're watching this live, drop your questions. We're going to be going through some brand reviews. We're bringing up a brand owner in a couple minutes, and we're going to be diving into more content here to help you launch your brand before 2026. All right. So this is what you designed out.
Just simply, just for the podcast. So that was like a little zombie design for Halloween. Nothing crazy. I'm like, what do you do? Like, what do you?
Right. Yeah. How do you get creative?
Now I understand a little more of how to
approach the design.
Right.
Yeah, because you guys both like I could see that you guys got 4 sold on you and him.
Some of this is me buying to see what what it looks like when it's
Got
printed.
it, got
Yeah,
it,
I gotta
got
see
it.
what it looks
That
like.
makes sense. I was like, well, you guys are you guys actually want, but these are samples.
These are samples.
These are samples.
Yeah,
No, this is good. Yeah, I would say like this is typically the route that like if you have a design block, you're like, what do I do with it? Let me throw some AI ideas,
exactly.
and that kind of gives me AI vibes.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah,
So
because
like,
it was just something.
yeah.
You know?
But you know what? Like right now, we're kind of trashing AI designs, but randomly, I'm seeing that AI designs will become a thing. Like
Yeah.
I think the younger generation won't know what good design is anymore.
They won't.
They'll be like,
They
I
won't.
like that.
I like it, right? Yeah, and so and that's why
Yeah.
you can kind of get away with using AI. It's funny because that's a big topic right now on with music and art itself, the use of AI and how people are using it, creating these crazy videos of dead
Right,
people,
right, right.
celebrities,
Bringing them back to
yeah,
life and
in an interesting way though.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Some respectful, some disrespectful. Most
yeah.
of it's been disrespectful.
Right, right. No, that's a good
But
point.
anyway,
No, so I think like when it comes to your merch for the front page, it's gonna be like really finding out, okay, who's watching it, who's my diehard, like people that keep coming back, the comments that are being left, and then like what designs would resonate with them, and then seeding those out. Like maybe you come up with a versus battle type tee, like
yeah, and
just
I
to kind
did.
of
I
see.
just never put it out. That's the
Right.
crazy part.
And I mean, you're doing it with on demand, so and it connects to the channel too, right? You guys are connected to the YouTube channel, where you can bring in the products to like mention them. Yeah.
We had a QR code that takes you to the store.
Okay, okay.
Because the connection between
We'll just need another battery on that. Yeah.
the connection between the store and YouTube is still pending for whatever reason.
Okay, okay,
So I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
know what
Takes a
that
little
is.
bit. Yeah, it takes. Well, is it what? Who are you selling it through?
T Public,
T Public.
which
Do they have a direct connection or no? Or do they get it removed?
I don't think it's a direct connection. I had to, you go on YouTube and then you have to like a request
Request the store to
the
connect.
store, and then you accept it, and then the store has to.
Push back the data.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it just I don't know. It's not working for me right now. I don't want to knock it.
We could
but
turn it down a little
it's
bit.
definitely
Just
not what's working.
yeah, because I know like with Shopify, once you launch it with the Shopify side, you can actually drop it. Like you can have that connection direct, and then any sales are just coming through your storefront too. So like, and you could also track the marketing. So like how many times people spent on your site and stuff like that. It actually is a big traffic driver. Like Shopify having your products, you can actually control the traffic, put offers. Anytime somebody comes here at this page or this product, pop up. So you can control a lot of your marketing that way.
Okay.
Instead of like working with a third party, they might go to that store and then they'll be like, oh, what is this? And then they'll leave and buy something else.
Yeah, and I use it for another because I just make shirts, right? I make designs. It's a few shirts that I made, sweaters I made. People like, man, that's dope. Where can I get it? So I was like, man, I just need to put my design somewhere. So if you want it, you can get it. I haven't been trying to brand it or whatever, but I definitely need to go about it a different way.
No, I mean the fact that you identified it, you're like, how do I fix this? That's where it begins, right? A lot of times people are like, it's not selling, I'll give up. But like, hey, how do I improve this? Like we were just having a meeting this morning. It's like you don't ever make like radical. There's no such thing as like a big switch. It's like that gradual change, right? And it's just 1 to 2% better on each thing. And at the end of the month, you're like 50% better if you can hit 2% on average, right? So like you're 50% month over month, you get better and better. But a lot of times people are doing the same thing forever, and then they're like, how come it's not working?
And they give up.
And they give
Instead
up.
of trying something new or figuring out what the issue is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Bentley, the man Bentley, informative live. Appreciate the information. Thank you for joining us, Bentley. Appreciate you for dropping in the comment. So right now we have the man John Fowler. They have a podcast called the Front Page Podcast. We're gonna link it in the video description on the release. We'll also pin it to the comments. And I was on their podcast, maybe 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? Yep. And it's honestly one of the best podcasts I've been in. I was telling them after the podcast itself, I'm like, you guys did your thing. It's going to blow up. It's going to be a big podcast in a couple. I mean, you guys are 5 months in and you're already having some good success with it. So like, imagine 6 months or even a year from now, a year and a half from now.
Things coming up, some things lined up. So yeah.
That's what's up. Especially as you guys like continue to interview, like you open doors for like what I was seeing is like, obviously being at the boxing events, media passes, being at all these events, like it's gonna open up a lot of doors for you guys. Yeah, man. I see it happening in real time. And as you build out the merch line, it's always something to like consider, like how do you want to be perceived, right? Like ultimately your products are like a reflection of the brand. So like the more elevated they can look, the more legitimized it looks to the public, right? And yeah, so
no, and it's the front page, so it's kind of hard to just kind of put it in the box because it's a front page. So everything, it changes every day. Sometimes it's weather, sometimes it's this, sometimes it's politics, and so that's the whole idea behind the front page. We're not just boxed in. We could talk about whatever and have whoever on to share their story.
Right,
so,
most definitely.
Yeah.
And I think like the solid foundation really is the personality and the vibe that, and like the actual vibe you guys bring to the market, right? Because there's some front page that are very news based, very professional, right? And I when I went on the podcast, I was sharing stuff I never shared before. I'm like, yo, this is I feel at home. I feel like I'm with friends, right? So like, so you open up more. So you guys had a really good vibe, man. I think it's gonna be big. So you guys got to check out the Front Page Podcast. Front Page Podcast is a hit, man. So then, what goals would you have? Like one of the things I always tell people is like, or ask people is like, what goals do you have over the next like year, like 12 months, even 4 months, 6 months? Like I love to plan. Like we were talking, like I like to at least have a yearly roadmap of like, this is what I like to accomplish a year from now, and then set 12-week sprints of like, okay, in 12 weeks, can I accomplish what I want to do in a year in 12 weeks? All right, so there's like this book I read. It was called The 12-Week Year. And it kind of forces you to stretch your ideas and limits. And it's like if you had 1 year, a lot of times people work towards 1 year goals, and then they try to break them up into quarterly goals. But then those quarterly goals don't get you to the yearly goal at all. But you don't find out to the end of the year.
I haven't met my goals.
I haven't met my goals, but if you look at your 1 year goals and you're like, how can I accomplish this in 12 weeks? You start to think creatively about like what are the key pillars that are going to actually make that 1 year goal happen. And then every 12 weeks you're revisiting, or every week you're seeing, did I accomplish this thing this week, right? Because now your 1 week is acting as a 1 month. So you're stretching yourself, like if this would have taken me a month before, I got to get it done in 1 week. So how do I do that? So it's like a real mental challenge, but I love it, man. I've fallen short 3 weeks, 12 weeks out of the month, out of the year. But I got like 70% there, which is crazy. Like, it's crazy. So I got like
that's work for you.
Incredible. Because like it forces you to plan every 3 months, right? Like, because you're going to create your 1 year like life vision, right? Like, hey, in a year from now, I want the Front Page Podcast to be, let's just say, 100,000 subscribers or 200,000 subscribers. We want to coverage X amount, right? You want to have those big goals, right? But then you also want to have like, okay, if I only had 12 weeks and that was 1 year, like what would be the most important thing I got to get done, right? And it's like, okay, maybe it's in establishing these connections and relationships. So I get into these 3 events that are gonna, tie me to be into this big event by March or whatever it may be. Like I want to be at the next Crawford fight, right? Like what do you have to do to be there, right? And is it subscriber based? Is it relationship based? Like you got to identify the key pillars that are going to drive that, and then you're actively working towards it every week. So it's like I need to do 10 outreaches a day in order to land those contacts that are going to get me, these new opportunities. So you're attacking every week a lot different than you would if it was like a year out. Like, oh, the Crawford fight isn't until September next year. But like, no, if I need to connect to the manager before the end of the 12 weeks, that way I got the relationship and we can have them on the podcast. Exactly.
Exactly. Until the event is
coming up. Yeah. So like it forces you to think about like everything from your marketing to like your relationship building to your like operations sales, like how do we monetize this thing? Like what opportunities are available to monetize, but which ones are more low-hanging fruit that we can start bringing in money into it, right? A lot of times we think about it being and or, like, okay, I need a market and then it makes money, but it could also be like, we can start making money now while we're building out the marketing, right? So it definitely forces you to like think on your feet like a lot differently.
Do you have a something that you like I don't know, say that kind of that you fill in,
Yeah, I do actually. Yeah, it's funny. You know what? I'll bring it. I'll bring it for you. Yeah, I'll give you one. Yeah. Let me pull this up. Grabbing it on the box over here. And, so we're actually gonna redesign these because these are ones that I designed back in like 21. Still got a handful. We give them to like our key students and people in our programs. But this one is like it's called the From the Ground Up Planner. So essentially, what it is we structured it to be a life vision planner. So like at the beginning, like it really forces you to like look at where you want your personal life to go and where you'd like your business life to go, because they're married, right? Your business life and your personal life can be together. And then from that, you actually put together a yearly plan, a monthly plan, and a weekly plan. So every month you're planning like, okay, if I needed to accomplish these goals and this year, like what goals do I gotta accomplish this month, you know? So then from that, you go like, okay, to accomplish these goals this week, like this is what I need to come up with. And then there's reflection. So every month you're reflecting on like what worked, what didn't work. So this planner has been pretty good, but I'm gonna redesign it to be a little bit smaller. So it's 6 months, because this is a full year. It's a full year, but I find that, if you carry it around and actually use it around 6 month mark, it starts to like unbind because you've been messing with it. Yeah, you've been writing, so the pages fill up bigger and it just starts ripping the pages. But for the most part, this is a solid planner. It at least gets you to think about it. I love using physical. Like for me, like writing it every week is important. But then digitally, if you're collaborating with people, like especially as you build a team, like Monday.com is more of a project management software.
Where you kind of share.
Yeah. Slack too is legit. Slack is awesome. So Slack is how we organize all of our. It's almost like having everybody in the room. So we think about Slack as being like a true collaborative platform. And then when it comes to like Monday, we organize all the business operations from there. So like I got specific boards for like, we got specific boards for like production, marketing, sales, pipelines. So like within our content itself, we got these boards. So like I know for sure like what's in post-production.
Is this Monday.com?
Monday.com, yeah. So then from here you got, all of your, like these are the videos that are going to release, what's the status of the edit, and then when it drops, links here so we can download. The people that are marketing know exactly like, okay, what was this project about? They can read the idea, they can, all of that. So it's more of a project management board. And as you start working, you got to have a place to organize all your goals and stuff, and then Slack is truly more of a collaborative tool. So if you're working with graphic designers, like I have my graphic designers there, my thumbnail editors, my extended team, so like people that are working within our team to market, the key editors that are managing all the editors. We have like the videographers, they know what's happening on a day-to-day, like today we're going to film this, or
everybody's on the same page.
It's like daily. And then project management board, I see it like Monday, I see it being like a big team whiteboard. Like if it was a whiteboard there with all your goals and like checking things off and everybody can see where it's at. Yeah. Those would be the two organizational tools, Slack, Monday, and then like Google Drive, just having a solid Google Drive for all your podcast edits and all your designs. Place to store things is important. And then should be good, man. I'm excited. I mean, I think what you guys got is you got a strong foundation. Like what you guys got is strong. So now it's just building on it with like, I think the next thing for you guys might even be to like, because I know probably outreach is a big thing that you guys do, right? Like scheduling outreach and like obviously like the social side. I think if you guys were to do, who does your social side right now?
We do everything.
So are you guys doing your edits? Yeah.
Yeah, we doing that. We do everything.
Okay.
We're trying to, delegate, but right now, she's doing all the edits. We both, commenting, and so we're just running it. We're running it all. Yeah.
I would say like one of the improvements you guys can make on your social side, because you guys got really good footage. So like you guys get the raw footage from the podcast, right?
Yeah.
You guys are using Opus for the clipping.
Yeah.
So I would say like making it look more organic in feed. So a lot of the reels that you guys have right now look like it got like the big logo or like a crazy watermark, and it looks off. It looks like I'm like, oh, I mean, it looks cool, like if you want to attract attention, but you kind of want it to feel like it's natural to the feed, and that'll help just retention wise. People don't think it's a promotion or an advertisement. You want people to just feel like they're consuming something. Like, oh, what is this? A big thing with content is the context, right? So like, I think a lot of times we miss like when you're creating content for a brand or for your podcast or whatever it may be, you're also a lot of times I don't give context to what the actual video is without audio, right? So like a solid caption that would give context to that clip if people aren't viewing it with sound. So a lot of times we assume people browse with sound, but it's like 50% of the times people have the sound off. So what's written in the first 3 seconds would hook, right? So like, hey, this person knocked out Canelo, or the undefeated GOAT, and then it's like that's what's stationary on that content piece. Now you're like, huh, I know he's undefeated, but what's special about this? Now you want to turn on the sound, right? So those two improvements will help your guys' organic reach. Like, not so overly branded. It needs to feel like it's part of the ecosystem. And then just the context to what each short is about. We're working on it every day too. Like on our side, we're doing a lot of reclipping and sharing to different channels. So we're using a lot of like automated tools too. But then I also have a team that does all our edits for our original videos. So it's a combination of like, let's clip it with Opus, or let's actually build out a short that we film and then I send to an editor to polish up, right?
Because you had an idea for this.
Exactly. Yep. And like Opus is cool because it allows you to take your long form YouTube and clip, but then you can also make templates, like text caption templates to like brand it consistently. So then you could drop in your own branded captions and stuff. So everything looks like cohesive. That's key. Because the more that you can make it look like it's the same channel, like you don't have to put the logo, but like the way that the captions come up and your editing style.
You almost know when they see it, they're like, oh, that's
exactly.
That's part of branding.
Yep.
I got you.
Yep. And then like your background itself, like is the watermark, right? It's not like the text on screen.
It's not overkill.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that.
For sure, man. No, you guys are doing great, bro. Like, I mean, however I can help the Yayani side, I love it. I think that has a lot of legs. I think just thinking about it in the same line, like, what's the brand direction? What's the real messaging behind it? And how do we start building out like our own store that is a gifting store? Obviously, targeting twins, but then like, do you also expand to family and relationships? And that's a potential as well.
That makes sense. What's your name? Preston. I was telling Preston, you don't know, but I'm trying to get you as my mentor.
Well, sign you up. Sign you up.
But yeah, sign me up. Right on.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, no, most definitely, man. Any other questions? Like anything else we can help you with? Because I know, like, I want to bring on. Is Keisha waiting? Yeah. So we could bring on Keisha, and we can also kind of like riff, and you can give feedback and stuff. Yeah. I think it'd be perfect. So let's bring on. So Keisha's been patiently waiting, guys. If you guys are watching us live, we just had a great session with the one and only John Fowler, Front Page Podcast, and I really enjoyed this. Like you guys got to see in real time the way that you should think about rebranding, launching strategies. Anything that stood out to you guys, leave a comment. Leave a comment with a question that you currently have about your brand, your existing brand, maybe a hurdle. Um, Answer the poll if you guys have started the marketing process. If so, have you found a content format that works for you? Let us know in the questions down below, in the comments down below. Keisha, thanks for joining us and thanks for your patience. We started a little late. We were going to start at 1 and then I had to push back to like 4:30. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no worries. Nice to see you. Thank you for having me.
Likewise. So Keisha, for context, Keisha recently launched her brand, and honestly, you blew me away with your video creation skills. I didn't even know you could do video.
Neither did I. Thank you.
She did. You absolutely crushed it. And like for me, it felt like it was it was like it was very well done for one. Like it gave me a good vibe. Like when it comes to like building the brand's image. And I'll show John here just so he has some context as to what we're talking about. And then we got. I was just looking at it. I was looking at it on the computer. That's why. Where's she at? But so you recently launched and you were manufacturing, you ended up doing it overseas, right? So you ended up doing your brand overseas, like the manufacturing side. So what did you think of the overall product quality and did it come in on time or?
Yeah, so I just worked with samples to begin with. And I have my products are all for pre-order right now. Overall, I'd say it was a positive experience. The samples that I received, just some minor tweaks needed to be made, but nothing super crazy. So I think I may have, dodged a bullet to a degree.
Yeah.
You film these
Well,
ads?
What is that?
Did you film these ads? He's asking if you filmed. I'm showing him your Instagram right now.
Which is it a specific ad or just in general you're
It's
asking?
the one where you're like walking down the city or somebody's walking down the city showing the hat.
Oh yeah, so those were filmed. I have a videographer, but I did come up with the concepts and I was kind of directing and producing and all that stuff. So those were actual scouting locations and filmed in different scenes.
No, I mean, when I saw it, I was like, you did your thing.
Yeah, she did.
Thank you.
That's super dope.
You
Thank
did your
you.
thing. I would say like, so what's cool and like the cool part that you just shared is that obviously you did it all with samples, right? So like all the products that are being marketed right now are just samples from the manufacturer, right?
Correct.
And then you haven't placed the bulk orders yet, right? So you just paid for samples and now you're marketing to get that feedback, right?
Correct. I did place a bulk order for the hats.
Okay.
It was a minimal order, so I did do that. But the others are going to be, I'm still waiting to see how that goes.
No, and honestly, that really is the best way to approach it. A lot of times people will launch it, and this is what I told Keisha. I was like, you don't want to buy bulk yet, just pay for the samples, do the marketing, and then you'll get that real feedback from people. And so far, like have you started running ads already? Like I think some of your videos you have, right? It looks like some of them are like boosted.
Yes, I have.
And then based on that boost, how many have you had some good traffic to the store, like from your actual store?
I've had traffic to the store, but it hasn't converted to sales. I would say that the biggest benefit that I've received from the ads has mainly been increasing my followers on my social platforms, but nothing really has converted to sales. Well, actually, nothing crazy, but.
Right. So you've gotten a couple sales trickle in, right?
Yes.
Are they like friends, family, or random people?
We have a mixture. So we have friends, family, and then someone kind of random.
Okay, that's cool. And then the random person, did you reach out to them?
No. So I have a Facebook page, and I don't know if they know someone that I know.
Okay.
But she commented on one of my posts and asked how she could purchase.
Okay, that's cool. That's awesome.
So she's following the Facebook page.
No, that makes sense. I would say like your actual imagery, like the product imagery, is pretty legit. Especially like right now, I'm looking at some of your bags, and a lot of what you did in terms of photography, videography, it's all good.
Thank you.
The main thing I would say is that it feels like an ad without truly understanding what it's about, right? So
Mhm.
like I know that I had asked you to send over some examples. Can you pull out that list? I think one of them is the Mad. Let's go through some of your market analysis, right? So like I want to pull up that PDF, but pull up one of the websites. Which one? Which one? Yeah, Mad Happy. Let's look up Mad Happy real quick. Um, so I asked Keisha to send over like an analysis of her competition, right? So like who does she kind of see is the competitors in the space? I think I'm trying to pull up that sheet myself right now. I had it. Where did I have it? Let me see. Thought I had it right here, but apparently I don't. Okay, but we'll pull it up on the live stream right now. Cool. So let's pull up the first one, which is I'm gonna look at it as you guys are looking at it. So we got Mad Happy here. Tell me a little bit about Mad Happy and why, like what do you like about what they're doing, and where are they falling short, and where does your brand fit in?
So, first, I want to just preface after doing research, I found that there really aren't competitors out there that are apples to apples to my brand. So, the brands that I provided to you, there are some parallels with them. So, Mad Happy is one of them in terms of, minimalist, kind of a softer palette. They don't have a lot of bold, affirmations or anything like that. I would say the differences between Mad Happy and my brand is that it looks like they cater to a younger crowd. And they also, at this point, my audience is primarily women. And it looks like that they, cater to women and men. And then also I noticed that their sizing only goes up to a 2XL.
Okay.
And my brand is a little more inclusive where I'm going up to a size 4XL.
Yeah.
So I like in terms of their tone and their messaging in terms of, I think there's an alignment there with affirmations and things like that. But again, I don't think it's 100% apples to apples, if that makes sense.
Got it. No, it does. Can we pull up their Instagram real quick, person? So obviously, like their website looks really good. It's solid. The product lineup themselves
Yeah.
looks top notch, and it's what's expected when your brand is doing a couple million, or multi-million in this example. So we're gonna pull up their Instagram real quick. I haven't actually seen how they're marketing. I just saw some of the lists that you have, and let's see if we could pull up that Instagram and share that. So one of the main things, like right out the gate, when I saw what you were doing, is it gave me a good vibe in terms of like, okay, this is good ads, right? Like this would attract me after I knew what the brand was about,
Mhm.
but not leading up to it, right? So like if I'm a new person that's kind of like, hey, what is this? Like I don't know what the brand is representing. So now that we're looking at Mad Happy, I've heard of the brand, I've never seen their Instagram. Um, let's pull up let's go to the Reels feed, because a lot of what Mad Happy has here is pretty much product features, right?
Mhm.
So it's like lookbooks, collections, but let's go to the Reels side and let's scroll. Let's find one that looks like, let's keep scrolling down. Yeah, that's also it's more of an ad base. So once you start to compete, so like that's one thing I would say for sure right out the gate, is that you never want to try to do what other brands are doing. What I
Mhm.
mean by that is like you never want to compete in terms of like, let me make a better ad, right? So like
Yep.
a lot of what I'm seeing on Mad Happy is that it is product heavy and it's product features.
Yep.
I don't see anything that looks, maybe that crafting one. Let's look at that one where the person has their hands on the table. It looks like some of their earlier, that one right there, the 30,000 view one. Yeah, 30.9, I think it says. Yeah. And then, so this one here looks more like it's an actual, like a community-based post, right? So like if I'm looking at this, I would assume that this is where they're making their marketing, but color centric. Is this kind of where they came up with some of their Pantones or colors? Or I'm actually really interested to see, or is this a book that their local optimistic quarterly publication centered on community? So this is like their local publication, right? So it's like their printed marketing material, which looks like, to me, it looks like one of the most organic pieces that they have. But the reason I'm pointing that out is you never, like when it comes to social and content, don't ever look at what the brands are doing to showcase products. You really want to look, you really want to go in on how do you make your brand stand out to the person that has never seen it or even is in the mood of buying, right? So for example, Live Authentic, to me, it feels like this might be like, just based on our conversations and what you sent, it really is like a well lifestyle, well-being, like optimizing your life, living true to yourself, right? So what does that actually mean? Like, and what does it mean through visuals? So what does being true to yourself mean, right? Starting there and then coming up with like, okay, how do people portray living true to themselves? Is it a certain content format you can start to like dive into? For instance, like, okay, when I could have, like, it could be something funny, humorous. It could be something within your own life where you had to live true to yourself, whether it's like, hey, do you wanna go drink, or do you wanna go play kickball, or like it could be something a little humorous within your market where you're like, okay, what does living authentically actually mean, and living true to yourself actually mean? It could be decisions that you have to make on the day to day, and is there a format where you can kind of like in a fun way show like I could have done this, but I want to be true to myself and I'm doing this, right? Like right out the gate, that's one content idea. But within the wellness space and like within the optimizing your life and within like being happy and like more of motivational, there's a lot of different formats within that. And it could be either routines, morning routines. It could be the way that you consume content and media, like awareness of, mental health and like well-being. So like diving into those buckets and then seeing, okay, which brands, or they don't have to be big brands, because a lot of times the big brands don't do this. The big brands are just paid media marketing, really good ads that make the product stand out, which works. But when you're starting something and you're trying to build out a community and audience, they need to understand what the brand is. And a lot of times it begins through the stories that you're going to share on social. So what type of content can you make? And that's why when we had a conversation, I was like, yo, it was really cool to see all those different shots you got within an advertisement. But how can you repurpose those shots to now tell a story, right? Versus it just being like a product showcase. It could even be something like you're literally reusing exactly what you already shot, but it could be something like the one with I think she had an umbrella where she was walking down the city, like on rainy days, a coffee is a must, right? Or like something where it's like, oh, on rainy days, coffee is a must. Tag a date that needs to take you out or something, right? So now it's like, oh wow, like, hey, you need to take me out, right? So now it becomes like a piece of content that kind of showcases what you're doing, but now there's a purpose to it. Like on a rainy day, it's time for coffee, right? And then in the captions, you're like, tag a friend that needs to take you out, or like, there's some like calls to action where people say like, if you've been tagged, you owe this person a date, right? So now it becomes like an engagement post, and people are like, oh, you got to take me out for coffee. And now you're sparking conversation, engagement, and that helps boost the visibility of that post.
So that's what I was trying to do with the videos that I have up. I have a lot of quite a few voiceovers walking through the scenes and about connecting and returning to that person's self, like the journaling, kind of like being still, taking the pause, talking about the intention in the details with each brand, talking about my journey from creator from the beginning to receiving the products, because I knew, looking at the products at face value, I would need to lean heavily into storytelling. So that was the intent behind all of that content with the voiceovers, trying to provide the context for those.
Right. I would even say like when it comes to like voiceovers though, it's really hard. Like, most of the time I'm scrolling muted, right? Because like I'm either like with my kids and I don't want them to be like
Okay.
just hovering over my phone, or like I'm somewhere where I'm just like browsing and just want to read. So
Um,
a lot of what I saw was like there was no context. I had to click to turn it on. And the ones that did have context, like that had like made with intention, like it felt like an ad.
okay.
So like when you're doing like all these videos look incredible, right? So it's just really about now kind of putting some like caption style over it that would
So
then
text
tell the
overlays.
story. Yeah. So like the beauty about it is you don't have to shoot anything new. You have so many pieces of videos here that you could literally repurpose a lot of them. Like right now I'm looking at the one with the umbrella and the girls touching the actual grass. Like a lot of that can be great B-roll to actually insert a good message, like a motivation. Like within your niche, you're gonna find the caption styles and calls to action that people are like resonating with this, right? So even the hashtags that you're using, you have 3 hashtags in there. I would say like really try to look at hashtags that are a little bit more aligned with like a broader audience in wellness and what is it called, like wellness and lifestyle, personal development. It's almost like a personal development, but it's not. It's also wellness, and there's like another niche within that. But like find the hashtags that are like trending within the audience that you're trying to attack, and then see the formats of content that are naturally gaining a lot of views. And
Okay.
you don't want to recreate the wheel. You just want to mimic what's out there and put your own style to it.
Okay.
So I know like right out the gate, what comes to mind is like sometimes my wife shares stuff with me that's like aligned with this, and it's like a caption in there, and it has like a nice heartfelt like little paragraph that then makes you read the full caption for like everything else. And
Okay.
by doing that, you're capturing attention for one, and then when they're reading the caption, you're actually getting a lot of playback. So you're getting a lot of like full watch length, which then leads to more views. So the
Okay.
more watch time, the more interaction, it leads to more and more organic views.
Okay.
And then and what you have for the product ads themselves, like a lot of the content you have right now is very ad based. You could then run that as an ad to the people that interacted with the page organically.
Okay.
So you kind of want to take out a lot of the heavy product placement into the organic content, and you want to let people to you want to start people to resonating with the brand messaging itself, like what is live authentic. So when
Yeah.
they see this and then they go to your social page, they're like, oh cool, I want to follow this page. Like it's got a lot of cool messaging that I vibe with. I can see this every morning. It's good for my mental health, right? So you want to start being a hub of that message
Okay.
versus being an advertiser of a product.
Okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
And honestly, because you got everything there, like everything that you have, the visuals are there. It's just about reworking them to now bring a message to that audience that grows organically, right? And that connects to them exactly. Because a lot of these videos, if you just edit them a little bit differently, put some captions in them, it'll just organically help retention, and you'll just start getting 500, 1,000 views.
Okay.
Like, and once you're in that ballpark, and you're like, oh, this one had a decent product placement, I should boost this one, right? And now the engagement with the captions and like, hey, tag your friend that needs, tag a bestie, right? Now you're going
Okay.
to be tagging and just growing that ad pretty organic too.
So that's the interesting piece too, is some of the posts have reached upwards of like 20,000 views,
Mhm.
10,000 views. And so that has been a little confusing for me as well, because it will result in maybe more followers, but again, not necessarily converting to sales.
And I would say I think your Instagram is plugged to your Facebook. That's what I'm
Yes.
assuming.
Yes.
So that's really interesting about Facebook too, is is like, yeah, because I'm seeing your Instagram and some of them have like 3,000. I think the biggest view was like 3,000, but that one probably has like 20,000 combined with Facebook, right?
Well, it's actually TikTok that has the higher views. I think I'm in Facebook jail. I think that's what's going on there.
Okay. So you also have a TikTok, and that's where it's getting more views.
Yes. Mhm.
Awesome. So is the TikTok page kind of mimic the Instagram page then, the same style of posting and everything?
It does.
Okay. So then the reason why you would get more views on TikTok is this because it is, and that's without paid, right? You haven't boosted anything over there?
I have boosted some, yeah.
Okay. So TikTok will definitely give you a lot of views. Have you found out what audience is mainly being advertised there?
So I'm setting the audience when I'm advertising, and I'm doing it within. I played around with my target audience, age range and gender, and then some of them I've done like 18 to 25. I've expanded it a little bit just to kind of see if there's any variations.
And it's all been in the U.S. too, like U.S. audience?
Some of them have been, no, actually, some international.
It's
primarily US.
Yeah. So like a lot of the, so like has it broke down how many international reach versus U.S. reach?
It's a very small percentage, like
for international.
Yeah, like maybe
Okay.
1% if
Oh,
that.
that's not the issue then. So I would say like when it comes to TikTok, a lot of times it really is like you should check to see how many people saved. So like how many people bookmarked is actually a good amount, and then also how many people actually went to the site, right? So like TikTok will advertise, but if it's not on TikTok Shop, it might not optimize. So they don't want to always just be taking people to a Shopify store. They'll allow you to advertise that way, but they actually don't necessarily like make it super easy for people to shop. So it might show it sometimes, it might not. It might show more as an organic post, which will get you a lot of views. But if it's not on TikTok Shop, it might not convert to the actual sale. So you should also see how TikTok is, like how much traffic TikTok drove. And then from that, you can actually see, like, am I getting at least a 1%, a 2%, or is it like a 0.005%, right?
Okay, gotcha.
So kind of take a look at the at how many people actually visited, and if it's a very low amount, then that's obviously TikTok is going to promote the post to get it in front of people, but it may not be pushing to convert on Shopify as much, because recently with TikTok Shop expanding, they want you to actually list the products on TikTok Shop. So if you get, but then the issue with yours is that they're pre-order, so it's not like you can actually sell them on TikTok Shop yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
So I would even stick to like as a pre-order. Pre-order is one hurdle that you have to overcome, which may be worth maybe looking at the ready to ship product, which is pretty much like the hat, right? So like the hat you have, and maybe changing the sales strategy on the actual Instagram post, like for the page. Maybe it is more based on like the hat or the products that are ready ship, just to kind of see like, oh, do people want to buy this? And then you could also play with the price point of the hat. Right now, $50 for an orange hat. I think it's legit because you have prints everywhere, the bottom of the bill, back of the bill. So it's a quality hat. I'm assuming it's like really good, right? Like you looked at it.
It's embroidered and custom embroidery.
Oh yeah, it looks nice.
Thank you.
I would say like play with price points as you drive ads from Instagram and just kind of see where it falls, right? So a lot of it is just going to be based on a price point side, and maybe you convert at 40 or 35. Maybe 50 is that big bottleneck. And I know you want it to be like, yo, this is something that's like luxury, but accessories sometimes can kind of fluctuate, right? Like you might get a sell on a hat at 10 that used to be $40, but so I think like if it hovers around the 30 to 40, you might get more conversion. So kind of test that. And that one still says pre-order too, though. So that might be the reason why you're not converting.
Yeah, they're all pre-order right now. I just put in the bulk order for the hat, so I haven't received them yet.
When do they come in?
I should be getting them probably probably within the next few weeks at the latest. They're in production now.
Okay, so maybe after the holidays, or?
Yeah, it'll be after. I mean, I might be able if they're trying to rush it, but
yeah, it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think right now, like the fact that you have sampling and pre-order, it's a good opportunity to dive in on the content and marketing and start to build an actual like community around the brand. So since you don't have products, um, I wouldn't pay for ads on pre-orders just yet, because those pre-orders are going to be dependent on like who is this person, like what is this brand about, right? If I'm not connected to it as a customer, you're not buying. So I would focus on the marketing and really trying to build out an audience of like through a content strategy, and then make sure that your website is collecting emails, right? So like as I hop on there, I don't think I was prompted to sign up to anything.
Yes,
So
it should be a pop-up.
yeah, I was browsing it. I don't remember anything coming up. So
Is that the store?
yeah, this is a store. So like there was nothing that opted in when I first visited.
Really? It should
Yeah.
pop up right away.
Okay. Check to see if the mobile settings were right. Sometimes like desktop settings are good, and then you forget to like switch the mobile pop up.
Let me go on now.
Yeah, I had visited it from Instagram. Sometimes that's also, but no, it shouldn't give any issues through Instagram. So
Mm.
yeah, I would look at the pop up settings too.
Oh, I just went to it on my mobile. It popped up.
Did it? Yeah, I was.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So did I just exit it the first time? It almost looks like it's part of the page. It kind of looks like it's part of the page, so like it's hard to. It blends in.
Oh, so maybe you changed the color. I can do that.
Yeah, change the color a little bit. What does it say? It's a lot. It's a big paragraph too. The high design. And just stick around and it was real. Be the first to know. I would say like be the first to know is always it's a hard like why should I enter this? So for you it should be something like get 20% off your first order plus get get a daily or a weekly motivational well living guide, right? Like it's your newsletter, right? So like kind of create a name around your newsletter too, and a
Mhm.
reason why somebody would want to opt into it. Like maybe it is a message of the week or a message of the month, and then exclusive discounts and access the community, well living guide. Kind of brand it, because what I saw with Mad Happy is they obviously have that publication, right? So it's like a publication of things that they stand for.
Mhm.
So your audience really is into kind of building that tribe of people that are similar. So that might be a good selling point.
Okay.
But I
Thank you.
love it. I love that you launched it. For one, I want to congratulate you. Like you did it.
Thank
You
you.
actually put it out there.
Good step, yeah.
It's
That's a
terrifying.
huge step, um, especially because like there's so many reasons not to do it, and the fact that you're like, I'm designing it, I'm putting it out, and we're gonna see how this thing goes. Like the fact that you put it out and you started to build an audience already, and people are watching your content that's mainly advertising driven right now. Just changing the strategy a little bit is gonna
Mhm.
get you that traffic and those sales. Once the hats come in, really play with pricing, and then
Okay.
just I would say like you're after you kind of come up with a good messaging on the content, translate that message to the website, and have the website reflect the message of the content strategy you create. That way, when they land on when they see content and then they land on the website, it's all kind of the same, right? It's like, oh, this is cool. I wanna subscribe to this. I want to buy a product. I want to check this out. Because if the website says different things than what you're promoting, then there's a disconnect. So
That
you
makes
always want it to kind of feel the same.
okay. That makes sense. Thank you.
Yep. No, you're doing great, Keisha.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks for talking me off the cliff, off the
No,
ledge.
no, you're doing amazing. This is the reality. You got to launch it. You got to get real feedback, right? And it's like, okay, we got 3 sales, 4 sales. They were family. They were myself placing sample orders. They were, me just testing to see if the website works. Um, it's it's that feedback you get, right? And then the people that bought it really let them understand that they're appreciated, right? So like the one person that reached out, like, yo, I love what you're doing, tell me more about you, right? And like get on a call, get on a FaceTime and learn about them, and just be
Yeah.
like, yo, tag me, I'd love to give you a discount or a free product on the next purchase. Like by doing that, you then start to build that like actual flywheel of people leaving reviews and people tagging you on social. Like it starts with that one customer.
Yeah, I'm making sure that I'm, engaging and responding to comments. And I did go live last week. I plan to do more lives. Probably not on Instagram and TikTok because of the threshold with the followers. But I mean, Instagram and Facebook. But TikTok, I can go live, so I'll probably
That's
do more
awesome.
lives there.
Incredible. No, do your thing. So yeah, send over like some edits. I mean, I'm down to review the videos that you're coming up with. I'm down to put my like if you send me the draft, like, hey, this is the video, this is my captions. I'd love to help you just enhance that, because I know that once you have good content, so like it's just about purpose packaging it right.
Okay, thank you. I'll do
Awesome.
that.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Well, thank you guys for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
It's been a great one, man.
Right on, man.
I was like, let me go live to everybody. Let me just have this conversation, because he was coming in regardless. I'm like, I want to make sure I help, and then we just throw something. Hey, Keisha, join us too. Like, just something a little bit last minute. We literally planned it. I know we planned it a couple weeks in advance, but we confirmed it yesterday. So then I was like, shit, let me go live right now. So no, it was really cool having you guys on. It's really cool, like, developing the brand. So please keep me in the loop of what you're doing. And if you guys are watching this on the replay or you're watching it live, just make sure that you guys check out the free resources. So in the video description, expand it. There's a free resource guide there. And if you want us to review your brand in the next live, just send me your brand info on Instagram. And I linked it down there. It's John X Santos. All you got to do is just send me your little bio about you, about your brand, where you're at. And then we'll essentially review it. We'll do the brand review. We'll give you critiques and feedback and ways to expand on it. So if you guys enjoyed this, make sure you subscribe, and see you guys on the next one. Keisha, have a great
Thanks,
weekend.
John. Thanks.
Bye. Cool. Man, that went by fast.